Hey guys, tonight I want to talk about racism, integration, and immigrants. Alright, so a few days ago, there was a terrorist attack in London, and a lot of people are racist towards Muslims and other communities. And the reason for this is because they see them as usually subhuman. And a way to fix this problem is integration. The way it's done in Europe is completely incorrect. Whenever you integrate people into a community, it helps people see that that person isn't totally crazy. And this doesn't just go for people looking at Muslims, it goes for Muslims looking at normal people. You see, it's easy to, I don't want to say it's easy to kill, but it's easy to kill a nameless, faceless person. It's hard to kill a friend. And whenever you put people together in a community, they usually become friends. They get to see the struggles of another person. They struggle with the same things I struggle with. They can relate. And whenever you can relate to someone, you can almost see their point of view. And through generations, the racism goes away. Now, the problem with terrorism is it's an ideology, and it's not a race thing. So it can't be fixed by integration. It can be helped. But in Europe, they have communities of these immigrants instead of breaking them up and putting them in the normal communities. If that happened, you would probably see lower amounts of terrorist attacks just because they would be able to see the people around them as people instead of the infidel, the person that is against my God. They would see them as actual people. In most cases, some are just too far off the deep end to save. And you see that a lot in America too. You have black communities and you have white communities. And that causes a bit of racism. However, racism isn't as bad as it used to be, in no way, shape, or form. 60 years ago, it was incredibly bad. Now it's not so bad, but it's still there. And I'll give you a story. Whenever I was in elementary school, my two best friends was a black kid and his little brother. I didn't see them as black. I just saw them as my two best friends. I didn't see them any different than anyone else. And that came from befriending them and getting close to them. I don't believe I've ever had a problem with racism, because where I grew up, there is a good bit of diversity. And they never pointed out that I was white. We were just friends. And that's how this hatred of a certain race ends. Whenever you see someone as your friend, and the way we've done it so far, it doesn't work. And in Europe, it won't work. 10, 15 years down the line, they'll still probably have this problem. Because they didn't diversify. It will take them 60, 70, 100 years for that problem to stop. Because they didn't integrate them correctly. They're still in their groups. They're still holding on to their ideas of their mainland. They may have left there seeking refuge, but put yourself in their shoes. They lived their entire lives thinking a certain way, and because of certain bombings or terrorist attacks or people killing other people in their area, they've had to leave. Does that change their ideas of the world? No. Say, if you live in America, and all of a sudden a group comes out and just goes crazy, and they start killing everybody, so on and so forth. So they send you over to the Middle East for safe refuge. And it's a completely different ideology. Or they send you to Russia, completely different. Or they send you to China, completely different. And all these different places are completely different culturally. But that doesn't change you. It doesn't change your thinking overnight. That takes years or a lifetime to change, if at all. But your kids who are growing up, they get indoctrinated into that society. They come up in that society. They don't see the old society. They just see the new one. And that's how integration works. However, if they're in a completely controlled community of a certain type of people, they don't see it. And that's bad. Diversity is a good thing, because everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a thought worth listening to. But it's not an easy thing to do. We are all people. It doesn't matter your race or your ideology. However, there are good and bad ideologies, but your race doesn't determine that. And 100 years down the line, racism should be a thing of the past. 500 years down the line, if we're still around, I think it will be. I think we'll see each other as people. And that's a good thing. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. If y'all think I'm ugly, if y'all think I'm wrong, if you're a complete racist and you think everything I said was completely stupid, leave it down below. And y'all have a nice night or day.